Hello, precious friends. Welcome to this video and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brenda Campbell. I am an artist and a certified Zentangle teacher. If you're already a friend, thank you so much for returning. I'll be your guide through the 8 steps of the Magical Zentangle Method of drawing. This is a practice, one that allows us to slow ourselves down and be in this moment. A practice where we focus on one stroke at a time. It also provides so many benefits that there's no way to list them all here. I will say this is a practice that can change your life. It has changed mine, and that's why I say it's magical. I hope you'll add a little Zentangle into your routine, and I'm honored to be part of your journey. I am participating in the Inktober challenge this year, and today is day 23. I posted a short video where I talk about its origins. I'll let you know who Jake Parker is and talk a little bit about how it became an annual Zentangle challenge. My approach this year is a bit different as I combine 2 Inktober lists. So grab some paper and a pen, find a comfy spot, and relax as we draw our 23rd Inktober tile. So I will be using a tan tile today. So I have a brown pen. I'm using a Sakura Micron 05 light brown pen. I have a white Gelly Roll 08 pen. I have a white chalk and a tortillion for my white chalk, and I have a graphite pencil and a tortillion for blending out my graphite. You can use 2 brown pens. I'm choosing to just use one today. If you don't have a tan tile or brown pens, just use what you want or use what you have. It doesn't matter what you use. It's all about the journey. So let's go ahead and clear our space as we get ourselves ready to begin with step 1, gratitude and appreciation. In this step, we're just going to slow ourselves down, try to settle into this moment, and reflect a little and thinking of something that we're grateful for. So let's go ahead and begin with a couple of big breaths in, getting tall on the inhale, and just relaxing everything down on the exhale. One more big breath in and out. Now just let your breath settle into a natural breathing rhythm. And with every exhale, try to settle a little more into this moment. And just notice your breath. Pay attention to it. Now think of something that you are grateful for. It can be anything. It does not have to be a big thing. It can be small. And once you have it, pay attention to how it feels to be grateful. And as we draw today, if you reach a point where you're a little flustered, or maybe you're not sure what's next, it's okay, just stop yourself. Take a big breath in, and a slow breath out. Remember how it feels to be grateful. And then I think you'll be ready to pick up your pen and go back to drawing. And that, my friends, is all there is to step 1, gratitude and appreciation. Now for step 2, I'm going to grab my graphite pencil. Step 2 is corner dots, and I'm going to put a dot in each one of the 3 corners of our tile. Step 3 is a border, and we're going to create a border by connecting those dots. Step 4 is a string, and the string we're going to use today is kind of a like a rainbow, a round curvy line, like a rainbow or a garden trellis maybe. And that's it for step 4. We're done with our string. So now I'm going to pick up my light brown pen, and we are going to begin with the tangle Qurtuba. Now, I have no idea if I'm saying that correctly. This is a tangle by Aida Rico Mon, CZT, and it is such a pretty tangle. But we have to incorporate our prompt from Jake today, which is Firefly. So after practicing this tangle Qurtuba, which is new for me, I decided that we're going to go ahead and make, I'm going to say, like a little ring of flowers, these Qurtuba flowers. You can draw this tangle several different ways, but what I am going to do is I am going to go around on the inside of this pencil string here, and I am going to create our tangle Qurtuba. Now Qurtuba kind of begins with a curvy continual line, and of course I'm going around my string shape, and I'm turning my tile as I do that. Okay, so now I have the beginning step of my tangle. Now this tangle uses these curves inside to create a spiral. The spiral is going to come down from inside this curve. There. And then we're going to do another one over here, and this one is going to come down from this curve over here, I think. Yep, I'm right. This is what I guess I would call a high focus tangle, for me anyway, because it really does take a lot of focus for me. So you can draw these individually if you choose, but since I'm doing kind of a row of them here, I am going to go ahead and do step by step for each one. So once you have your curvy line, then this is the next step. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to draw, I guess I'll call them like little petal shapes. And they are going to come off from the top of our spiral. So this one is going to begin like that. And then we're going to do a couple more. So this one goes like that. And you just continue said, I have to remember which. This is a high focus tangle for me. Okay, so now we have our little Qurtuba flowers, and I'm gonna add to this an orb in the spots where we have some V's in our shapes, and that will just be another element for us to decorate. And then maybe I'll just put a couple on the bottom, just to kind of ground it. That's all there is to the Tangle Qurtuba. And since our prompt today is Firefly, what I thought would be fun is to go ahead and draw a little firefly inside our little trellis there. Fireflies, I believe, we have them where I live in Iowa, and they like to be where there's lots of vegetation. I'm imagining if I have one of these Qurtuba archway trellises in my garden, I would see fireflies. So we're just going to do a cute little whimsical firefly, and we're going to begin just with his head, and then we're going to give him a body, and then we're going to give him a bum that we can light up a little bit. So let's see, just for whimsy, I think I make this like a light bulb. Then he's gonna need a couple of cute antennas and some wings. And then maybe I'll give him a little stripe on his belly and a couple of eyes. And then just to kind of fill up this top corner here, I thought it would be fun to add just a single Qurtuba flower. So we're gonna just come up here with our spiral. And then we're gonna come down here with our petals. And then we'll go ahead and we'll add an orb there, and there, maybe one there. Okay, that is all there is for our tangles, step 5. And we've already incorporated, I guess, a little bit literal for me, our prompt of firefly. So step 6 is next. Step 6 is the shading. So I'm going to start my shading with my graphite pencil, and I am just going to put a little bit of graphite underneath my trellis, and I'm just kind of adding little bits here and there. I'm not going everywhere with it because I'll be able to blend it out a little bit. I like to stick it where there's like a V area that is a nice place to add some graphite. And then I'm gonna come in here and blend this out with my tortillion. And you can see there's plenty of graphite there, so I didn't really need to add it everywhere. And I'll just keep going around, turning my tile as I do that, just for comfort. And finish this side up. Okay. And maybe I'll just come down here, blend out my border line here to help us ground our little scene. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my graphite pencil one more time, and I am going to put a little smile in these orbs. This is a very light little graphite line, looks like a smile in the one corner of your orbs. And these are not very large orbs, so I don't need much graphite. Normally, I could use what I have left on my tortillion, but on the tan tiles, it's a little harder to blend out extra graphite. The tiles are a little more delicate. So I am just blending out these orbs, blending the graphite out into that corner wherever I put it. Some of these really tiny orbs I did not add graphite to, and I had plenty. So you just have to practice and gauge for yourself how much graphite you think you'll need. Okay, so I think I'm done with that. Then let's go into our tangle, still with our graphite pencil, and kind of put a little bit of graphite where these petals kind of go around our spiral. It's not a very large area that we're adding it to, but it'll be a nice bit of contrast for us. Okay, now we're going to blend that out. Okay, so with what I have left on my graphite pencil, I'm just going to put a little bit of graphite on the body of my little firefly and a little bit on one corner of his head. Not too much, he's really tiny, so you don't need much. Maybe just a little in between his wings. So you can see the paper just kind of fills up a little bit as you blend. So you really want to develop a nice light touch. Okay, and then I just blended a little bit left from my tortillion to one side of my firefly. Okay, now let's do the fun stuff. Let's grab our white chalk pencil, and we are going to begin by putting white chalk in the corner of each of our orbs, the corner that's opposite where we put the graphite. You don't need a lot. Trying not to cover up my pen line, but if I do, it's also not a big deal. I think I got them all. Okay, well, let's start with that. Very lightly blending it. Now, I like to do this on top of the graphite. If I do the graphite last, then I end up kind of getting my white chalk then just dulls up. Apparently I did miss one there. Okay, that's nice. I like that. And then I'm going to come back in again with my chalk pencil, and I am going to make my light bulb bright. I'm going to put a little in each wing, just for some color, if nothing else. And then I'm going to come into each one of my spirals. And in an area, it doesn't matter where, but somewhere you have room, I'm going to put a little bit of white chalk to give our little Qurtuba a little more highlight. And then blending that out. Okay, and then I'll blend out a little bit on the wings. And this little white stripe on his belly. Get my little light bulb. Now I'm going back in with my white ink. And then I want to kind of radiate light out from our lightning, our firefly. Here we kind of call them lightning bugs, but it's okay. Whatever they're named, they're still pretty cool. Okay, I think I'm good with that. Now I'm going to put my white pen away, and I'm going to get my white chalk again. I'm going to kind of give this a couple seconds to dry, which hopefully it should be dry by now. And now I'm just going to put a light layer of white chalk around the outside of my firefly. My firefly's a little light. And then we're going to blend that out. Maybe I need a little bit more in there. And that, I think, is all we need to do. It's such a pretty tangle. Another new one for me. I guess that's one of the things I do enjoy about Inktober is I tend to learn a bunch of new tangles. So that's all I think we need to do. So we're done with our tangles, step 5. We're done with our shading, step 6. And now for step 7, to initial and sign. I'm coming back to my light brown pen. I am going to put my chop or my initials on the front. Then I'm going to flip it over and I'll sign it and date it, but I date it off camera. And then I'll put my note on here that this was drawn. Oh, I always put note. For day 23. I guess I shouldn't say always. I did it one other time. And this is for Inktober 2025. All that is left now is step 8, which is simply to sit back and appreciate what you've drawn. So appreciate again that you took some time for yourself today. Appreciate this fun little piece of art that we created together. I know I appreciate each and every one of you. And I guess that's all we have for today. Now remember, there's going to be a link to that initial video at the end of this video here. So if you're still interested in learning about Inktober, just pop on over there and check it out. So until next time, friends, as always, remember to be you and be happy.